consolidated committee of which also includes Jsslc, which is the first committee, the United Nations General Assembly. Then there is US Senate, which is basically the Parliament of USA, and then there is Lok Sabha, which is the lower legislative house of India. Then there is World Health Organization. Then there is United Nations Human Rights Council, and then there is the United Nations Security Council, which is one of the most prime committees of the United Nations Forum, which also has 5 permanent members. Membership of India has been advocated for a long time, but it has been vetoed many times. So, as of now, we are not a permanent member with veto powers. Next is about position papers. Now, position papers in conventional or in normal circumstances, they are not mandatory. It is just to show your countries or your politicians' position over a particular issue. For example, you are talking about nuclear weapons, right? So there will be some countries which are against nuclear weapons, some countries which are for nuclear weapons, right? So you have a position on that particular matter. That will be reflected on your position paper. Now, if you are a politician in Lok Sabha or in AIPPM, you'll have a particular opinion about a certain issue or a bill. For example, the recent women's reservation bill. So if your opinion is for the bill, then you reflect that in your position paper. And if it is against, you say the same in your position paper. Basically, it just shows your stance on a particular issue on the agenda of the committee that you're going to be in. Now, this is the flow of debate. All right. Now, there's going to be a flow of debate, and to ensure that you're speaking well and you're being represented properly in the flow of debate, you'll be given placards. All right. The placards will include the name of your politician or the name of the country that you're representing. All right. For example, if I'm the delegate of India, I'll be given a placard with the name India printed on it. All right. So if I speak in committee, I just have to raise it and the chair will recognize it. Now, for the flow of debate, it just means the procedure in which the debate flows. All right. So the first procedure in the committee would be to start the session. All right. So there will be one particular delegate who raise a motion to start the formal session. All right. Then there will be roll call. All right. And after roll call, there will be the agenda which will be set. All right. For example, the agenda for an international committee is upon nuclear weapons. So that will be set, and they will be speaking about their particular agenda. We have the Jsslc speech, which will be saying here in the committee simulation. Next is debate. So there are 2 kinds of debate, which is formal debate and informal debate. The formal debate will have Jsslc, which is general speakers list, which will be prepared by their own respective means. And informal debate includes moderating topics, which will be a debate about a subtopic of the main agenda. For example, if the topic is about nuclear weapons, then the moderated caucus will be on nuclear weapons in so and so country, or how we can reduce or increase the use of nuclear weapons, etc., etc. In the context of an Indian committee, let's say the agenda is about women's reservation bill. All right. So then you can say a moderated caucus on women's reservation bill about OBCs, about reservation for OBCs, SCs, STs, etc. So basically, moderated caucus is going to be a subtopic of a topic, which will be informal debate. Formal debate, you will be having a speaker, a speech about the same agenda which will be set for everyone. Next will be the closure of debate. Now, the closure of debate happens when you have a working paper or a draft decision. Now, you know that when you're on topic you're doing and the case has to end, there has to be judgment, right? So for the judgment, here we have a resolution. Okay. Now, resolution has to be voted upon. Now, if I have an idea for a solution, everybody has to be in favor of it. All right. So you'll be voting in favor of it, and if I have a majority, then that shall be the resolution. So that is the closure of debates. I think voting procedures, obviously, there will be 2 kinds of voting. One is voting into seconds, and then voting for majority. For example, I have a motion to set a moderated caucus to suspend formal debate and enter into a moderated caucus about the topic of nuclear weapons in America, right? So first, I would say, first the chair will ask, who are seconding this motion? Seconding just generally means supporting this motion. So if you all are supporting the motion, that means there is no opposition. But let's understand there is an opposition. Then it will be put on to vote, all right? And then if the vote has majority, then the motion shall be passed. And if it doesn't, it shall not be passed. So these are the types of debates that I was referring to. You can see formal debate. The chair chooses a speakers list, and delegates may only be on speakers list once. This is a bit of a fantasy because another GSL, another formal session, you will be in the list again. Next is informal debate, which includes moderated caucus, where chair calls on delegates one by one, depending on the list that is there. And then there's unmoderated caucus, alright? Now, unmoderated caucus is almost like a break, alright? It is for all the delegates to discuss with each other without the intervention of the executive board. It is unmoderated. So, nobody is going to moderate whatever is going to happen in the committee or session. Alright, so here you can do all of your interactions and lobbying. So what is lobbying? Lobbying is making friends inside the company. Alright, so you need certain allies that so that they vote for you when you're passing motions. You are trying to pass motions, right? So you can make allies in these kind of sessions called as unmoderated caucus, which is almost like a recess. Now these are voting procedures. Now these are voting procedures for a working paper or a draft resolution. Now working paper generally doesn't have amendments, but draft resolutions have. So in a draft resolution, let's say there is a comprehensive draft resolution, and there are certain points that you do not agree with. So you just say, I want to amend the so and so point. So let's amend it in this way. For example, if there's a clause which says that nuclear weapons shall be banned totally, you can raise as if you are the delegate of India, you can say the delegate of India would like to propose an amendment to ensure that the clause is amended that nuclear weapons shall not be banned totally, but only to certain extent that you can use it on a retaliatory basis. Correct? When you're using it for
about sedition law, it's about
next is points. Now, points are one of the most basic utilities of the company. Now, these are the kinds of points that we have. The first is point of personal privilege. All right. Let's say you want to, when you're inside company, you're not allowed to use the internet inside there because then you can do research there, which is not even ethical if you're inside company. So if you want to research on a particular matter, or if you want to go to the washroom, or even if you want the fan to be switched off or the AC to be turned on, anything, you can just raise a point of personal privilege, and then you can make that happen. So point of personal privilege is just for your personal convenience. That's just point of information, where you can ask delegates questions about whatever speeches they have made. For example, recently in America there has been a lot of shootings. Alright, so America says that America is going to safeguard gun violence all over the world. So let's say you have done your research pretty well. So you just raise a point of information saying that when America is saying that it can safeguard peace all over the world regarding guns, how can you say that when your country itself has a gun problem? So I hope you understand the point. Let's just appeal to the chair's decision. So this happens, for example, you have attained majority over a particular motion. So the chair has a particular discussion about it. The chair has his own choice. So you can appeal it to a certain extent. Next is right to reply. Right to reply is when a certain delegate has offended you. Alright. For example, I'm the delegate of India, and the delegate of Pakistan says that Kashmir is a part of Pakistan and not India. Alright. So I'm offended now. So what I do is I call the Secretary General, which is the highest authority in the United Nations, and he will come onto the committee to resolve this issue. And in this particular timeline, what happens is both of them will be given 1 minute to explain themselves. Alright. So the delegate of India will explain themselves, saying that Kashmir is an integral part of India, etc., etc. And then Pakistan delegate will also have this part of the speech, and then the committee will vote upon whom to kick up. Alright. So that is right to reply. Next is decision of chairperson. Obviously, if you have a majority, the chairperson will make a decision, and a motion shall be in order. Next is 2/3 majority. Now, if you have a draft resolution, which is the final solution of a committee, then you need 2/3 majority. For example, to make it very simple, if you have 3 members in committee, 2 people must be agreed on the draft resolution which are passed. So these are points. Let's just questions. If there are any questions that you have, please you can ask. Any questions? Can I conclude that you don't have any questions? Nobody has any kind of doubts? Alright, in fact, I'm of the understanding that nobody has a doubt. So, this is a very basic kind of an introduction for all of you. I would much more recommend you all to witness what is going on right here, so that you get a clear idea of what is going on, and you also know how this is exactly being simulated. So, I hope you all have a good time. Thank you. So now the simulation for Lok Sabha is going to start. Started by Chief Advisor Abhijit and moderated by Director Niharika. I request everyone to pay attention.
Greetings, everyone.
All the best.
Greetings, everyone. Before we proceed, I'd like to bring to the notice of everyone that
Speak out.
Speak loudly.
guys, I'd like to bring to the notice of everyone that we are presently live on the Jsslc Law College YouTube channel. So I would request all of you to please maintain decorum, the spectators as well as the participants. Delegates, are there any motions on the floor? Rahul Gandhi, you are recognized.
I would like to raise a motion to start formal session. You have to do it, right? Formal session. I would like to raise a motion to start a formal session.
Any oppositions?
I would like to raise a motion to start GSL.
Discussion of the ED, we would go with formal session followed by roll call. So now I'll be calling out the names. Please answer with present or present and voting. One more thing, when you raise your placards, please ensure the name is visible towards me so that I can read your names. Rahul Gandhi,
Present and voting.
Nimi Chakraborty,
Present and voting.
Abdul Arif,
Present and voting.
Nakul Nath,
Present and voting.
Be louder.
Kiran Kher,
Present and voting.
Raizal P. Mohammed,
Present and voting.
Nishkant Dubey,
Present and voting.
Ravi Kishan Shukla,
Present and voting.
Firoz Gandhi, Sunny Diol,
Present and voting.
Amit Shah.
Present and voting.
I will have anyone's name.
Didi, what is the session?
Lok Sabha.
Delegates, are there any motions on the floor?
Motion to start the GSL.
Any oppositions?
Vote Zipa.
Everybody who second the motion? Seeing no opposition, we are continuing with GSL. Now, I'll be recognizing names. Everybody who wish to speak in the GSL, please raise your placards. Amit Shah, you are recognized. Rahul Gandhi, you are recognized. No, you are recognized. Mimi Chakraborty, you are recognized. Nishkant Dubey, you are recognized. Kiran Kher, you are recognized. Abdul Arif, you are recognized. Ravi Kishan Shukla, you are recognized. And Sunny Diol, you are recognized. And Faisal P.P. Mohammed, you are recognized. Amit Shah, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds. Sorry, 60 seconds.
Dhanyawad Mahoday. As you all know that the Bharatiya Janata Party has proposed a bill that is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita bill. As you all know that my party doesn't propose any bill without justification for that. So basically, I would like to give you certain reasons why I want particularly for this bill to be implemented. As you all know that IPC is one of the biggest criminal procedures followed in India. And that procedure is being given and governed by the Britishers. Already Britishers has ruled and ruined. And yet today, till today, we are following that. So I think the country with the largest democracy is capable to make the criminal procedures for itself. I would like to state few drawbacks of the earlier IPC, which has been covered in the present bill. As you all know that the earlier IPC is heavy and bulky with a lot of sections, but this new IPC has reduced the number of sections. Although the number of sections has been reduced, but the punishment for that has been increased. We know that even after giving strict punishment for heinous crime, yet the culprit continue to it. So I along you all want everyone to support this IPC bill to be passed. I believe the country with the largest democracy is okay to make its rule, and so the people has chosen us to do this work.
Seeing that you have exhausted your time, I would not be entertaining any points. Moving on, Rahul Gandhi, you have the floor for the next 60 seconds. A volunteer is requested to please hand over the mics.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to first of all bring to your notice that Bharatiya Nyaya Samiti Bill, Sanhita Bill, is very profound bill for now to the BJP government. But there are many flaws in this bill as well. I would like to specify a few. Police custody for 60 to 90 days. This is a recipe for disaster, wherein earlier it was very less number of days. Wherein this bill is giving a higher amount of power to the police and enforcement directors and other government agencies. Coming to the sedition law, this 124A section of IPC. This sedition law is being repealed in this new bill, which is giving a vague definition of not specifying of how the person is to be prosecuted. I would like to propose to this honorable chair that it is clearly unacceptable and no specification of special committee to draft this bill was earlier announced. And to this fact, public weren't aware. And to this provision, I would say that there are many provisions in this bill are very vague and all cut and pasted. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Seeing that you have exhausted your time, I will not be entertaining any points. Moving on, Nakul Nath, you have the floor for the next 60 seconds.
माननीय महोदय, धन्यवाद। इस अवसर के लिए मुझे आपसे मेरी बात सामने रखने के लिए धन्यवाद देता हूँ। पहले मैं अपोजिशन वालों को यह बोलना चाहता हूँ कि ये जो है ये भारतीय न्याय समिति जो इन लोगों ने आज के लोकसभा में लाया है, इसे ना मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि पिछले 9 सालों में इन लोगों ने इसके बारे में तो नहीं सोचा। अभी तो 2024 में इलेक्शन आ रहा है, ये तो पूरा तो पॉलिटिकल बायस पे कर लेना है। ये जो है ये किसी पब्लिक के लिए बेनिफिट के लिए नहीं बनाया गया है। ये जो लॉस आ रहे हैं वो लॉस सिर्फ उनके बेनिफिट के लिए। ये तो किसी हम जैसे नागरिक लोगों को तो बचाव के लिए तो नहीं बना गया। तो मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि ये तो सिर्फ उनका पॉलिटिकल एजेंडा है, ये तो उनका कुछ नॉर्मल पब्लिक को सर्व करने के लिए नहीं।
Even you have exhausted your entire sentence, so I will not be entertaining point as well.
Chair, I would request a right to reply since it was an allegation on our party, just to give a reply to him, a short and a brief reply.
All right, Amit Shah may reply.
As you said that we are here since 9 years and we are not doing, and we bought this act now. You people were for 70 years. Here we are not doing anything for our personal benefit. Although these are the party members, before that they are the citizens of this country, and this act.
I would like to raise a motion, right to reply.
Only one right to reply is allowed. Please decide whether the head of the party will reply or whether the previous debate will.
I'll take that. You want to reply or I'll reply?
Rahul Gandhi, exercise your right to reply.
As dear Amit Shah ji rightly stated that we have been taken for 70 years, at least with thought of people. You have brought the laws like mob lynching and all, which in your party itself is only for your party's sake benefit, not for the public.
I believe that's enough. We are running short on time, so we'll continue with GSL. Mimi Chakrabarti, you have to go for the next 60 seconds.
नमस्कार, सर्वप्रथम मैं यहाँ उपस्थित समस्त गुरुजनों को मैं अपना आभार जताती हूँ। श्रीमती मीमी चक्रवर्ती, लोकसभा से सदस्यों, on behalf of my dear women of our country, want to tell that the new bill IPC, that is Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita Bill, has not brought any major changes with regard to marital rates. Many women in India are suffering with this tragedy. The National Crime Bureau record confirms that 70% of women are going through domestic violence, which also includes the marital rapes. If you're married, it's not rape. That's the harsh reality of the 21st century of India. I believe that marital rape should be criminalized in India. Also, the new bill should consider marital rape as an offense related to rape. In section 375 of our IPC, it clearly defines as doing the intercourse with women against their will and consent, but there was no mentioning about marital rape in specific. Even the new bill does not consider marriage as an offense. Jai Bengal, Jai Bharat.
You have exceeded your allotted time, so I will not be retaining any points as well. Continuing on, next, Kiran K. You are recognized for the next 60 seconds.
This is not working.
Thank you, Mahoday, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the propitious platform of the nation when a landmark event is going to be attained with respect to penal code to achieve solidified social security. Narendra Modi and Shri Amit Shah. Historical change with respect to designing our own laws with respect to criminal aspects. The designing of the new bill will not only repeal and replace the self-serving IBC, Criminal Procedure Code and Indian Evidence Act, but will also establish a stronger laws for the country. The old IPC, which was in the favor of the British Raj, was not designed for the empowerment of people of Bharat, which makes Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita very more evident in making Bharat strong.
Thank you, delegate. Even you have exhausted your time, so I'll not be entertaining any points. Moving on, next, Ishkant, you are recognized for the next 60 seconds.
I am grateful to be a witness in the history in the making. And I wholeheartedly thank Mr. Honorable Speaker for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of this Parliament session. So, yeah. We have been repeatedly asking for these laws to be changed, and the existing criminal laws which are there in the Indian Constitution, it is basically the British era criminal laws. And we have deliberated these matters during Atal Vajpayee's prime ministership, and even we have brought this matter during then Home Minister Advani ji, and here he has assured in front of this whole house that we will look into these matters and we will bring changes into the system. Today, when I saw and heard Amit ji bringing these three bills and tabling it in front of the Parliament, okay. So what basically was IPC? It was never about Indian Penal Code. It was basically Irish Penal Code. In their guidance, we have planned on overhauling this existing British era criminal penal code and making it Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita bill. I am grateful to be a part of this session, and myself as well as my party mates are all witness in the history making, and I am grateful that this bill is being tabled in this session. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, delegate. Now, before we continue with the GSL, the EB would smile upon a moderated caucus. Are there any motions on the floor? Before we continue with the GSL, the EP would smile upon a moderated caucus. Are there any motions on the floor?
We'll continue.
I would like to raise a motion to start 0 hour.
I believe the EB would continue with the GSL rather than starting with 0 at this point. Continuing with the GSL, Abdul Arif, you're recognized for the next 60 seconds.
Respected speakers, Union Home Minister has introduced Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill to Lok Sabha. And they say that they aim to change the British era laws and to overhaul the criminal justice system in India. It appears that the bill is broadly based on the same principle as the existing code. However, the source of new additions in the bill requires a close examination, both in terms of phraseology as well as intent. It appears that some provisions have been poorly worded, while others have been confusingly included without any assessment of need of such inclusion. It appears that the bill has taken existing code and rearranged the provisions with the remove of the absolute gem, and it does a little to make a practical difference. It is worth highlighting, however, it is that carefully drafted provisions this can be have devastating consequences, and the three bills have been introduced to government to require a careful and scrutiny and discussion.
Not been retaining any points either. Moving on. Next, Ravi Kishan Shukla, you are recognized for the next 60 seconds.
Dhanyavad Mahoday. Today I would like to speak few words on new bill. So first of all, on the light of this session, I would like to congratulate all the parliament members. Special thanks to Amit Shah and Shri Narendra Modi ji. Mahoday, I would like to tell you that why this new bill was necessary. So in old IPC, the convicts and the prisoners were punished only to subdue their rest of their life in such a way that they would not fight for the freedom of the country. So for example, many laws such as conspiracy against the king or the monarch and the sedition laws were included just to keep the freedom fighters away from fighting for the nation. So many freedom fighters and most important luminaries were victim of this laws. So in this new bill that is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita will try to bring many changes in the society, and it will also try to uphold the sense of social security. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. You have exactly 160 seconds. Moving on. Next, Sunny Dior, you have the floor for the next 60 seconds.
Dhanyavad Mahoday for giving an opportunity to speak in this August gathering. As we are moving towards Amritkal, that is after completing 75 years of independence, I think it is the right time to change the criminal laws which have been enforced since the 1860s. I also tell that the old laws were enforced just to keep the freedom struggle and the revolutionaries under control. I am still puzzled that it took only 2 years for the Constituent Assembly to formulate the new constitution. But it took 70 whole years for us to bring a new criminal law, which is completely Bharatiya in nature and also which is completely Indic and that does not include the Britishers also. And because of the opposition's mentality that we are forced to formulate a new law, just because opposition is thinking that they are under the sahibs. So in light of that, I would like to tell that many freedom fighters and revolutionists were tried and convicted under the law, such as Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who had to undergo severe punishment in Burma because of the sedition charges held against him, and also some people of Kaukari conspiracy case and many more. Lastly, I would like to thank Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, whose guidance and people leadership made this bill possible. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, delegate. Moving on, the last speaker in the GSL would be Faisal PP Mohammed. I'll be recognizing more names after this. After Faisal PP Mohammed, you have the floor for the next 60 seconds.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. There are few questions that I have to ask on this platform. Before forming this bill, was there any legal committee organized?
with legal experts? If yes, who was heading it? Who were the members of the committee? Why were they not published in the public? Isn't it unconstitutional?
Delegate, it's a GSL. You may continue with your speech. That's it. You still have time.
Well, from few decades, there are the change of amendments in the law, acts and sections. But why is there a change of name from IPC to Bharat Nyaya Sanhita?
That's it, delegate. You still have 10 more seconds. All right. How would you like to yield your 10 seconds?
On points. Point of order, point of information.
Point of information.
Point of information, point of order. You want to entertain from us?
Yes.
All right. Any points on the floor?
Point of information.
Amisha, you are recognized. Please constrain your question to 10 seconds.
More than being a question, our answer to his question stating that was the committee being situated? Yes, in 2020 there was a committee which was particularly given to form this thing. And second thing, standing in the parliament of largest democracy, it is very sad to hear that the laws been coming for the benefit of people, and this, my fellow parliamentarian says it to be unconstitutional, which is utter wrong. How can he say? The delegate is aware the category to say any law unconstitutional.
Would you like to exercise your right to reply?
Since the question was asked to me, I would like to ask a reply to the question.
You have to ask ED.
Would you like to exercise your right to reply?
Yes.
Please, you have 10 seconds.
My question was, why wasn't it presented in the public and asked any taking suggestions from legal expert? Well, if you just just because you have majority, you can't put your law which benefits your party. Yes, it is unconstitutional.
Reply.
All right, 5 seconds.
So my fellow delegate asked, why didn't we let it in public? My dear friend, if you remember, 2020 was a COVID time. There was lockdown. How would you expect us?
All right, no more right to replies. So we'll be continuing. Are there any motions on the floor? If none, I'll continue with this GSL.
GSL is exhausted.
Right now, all the 12 people have spoken once. GS is a non-exhaustive list. I would like to remind you. So I'm recognizing names, following which I'll be asking for motions. Everybody who would like to speak again in GSL, please raise your placards.
You want to speak?
Are there any motions on the floor? Faisal PP Mohammed, you are recognized.
Stand and say.
I request for a zero.
Any oppositions? Everyone who second the motion?
Please second the motion.
Second.
Please second the motion.
Second.
Please second.
Everybody in support? This motion passes. We are hereby I'll be recognizing names now. Anybody who wishes to speak, please raise your placards.
1 minute.
0 hours for everyone.
All right.
You're putting it as 1-to-1 or 1 on counter everyone.
Hold together.
Calling out the names. Everybody who's interested to speak, please raise your placards.
Everyone should speak.
Amit Shah,
Raise your placards for 0 hours.
Faisal PP Mohammed, Kani Diol, Kiran Kher, Rahul Gandhi,
Everyone of us to raise. Everyone.
Mimi Chakrabarti,
Everyone should read.
Abdul Arif, Nakul Nath, Sunny Deol, I have recognized you already. Ravi Kishan Shukla and Nishkant Dubey.
Start with one on. You ask one person asking one person to question.
All right. Amit Shah, you have the floor.
As time curtailed me previously, I wasn't able to convey the exact thing. Why I feel this bill is like accurate. As you all know, the present generation, we have certain crimes related to artificial intelligence, cyber crime and everything, which is not mentioned in old IP. Apart from that, we have been using foreign precedents. But in this new act, you can follow Indian precedents, which will help in the disposal of cases faster. And second thing, you already know a lot of our forefathers, be it Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru or Bal Gangadhar Tilak, were already arrested based on the sedition. Why? Because the sedition laws by then were not tight. In this new act, we are trying to tighten the Sedition Act as well. As I earlier said, the sections are also reduced, but the punishment is increased. The punishment is increased not to not to hurt the Human Rights Commission or something. You know that although we have severe punishments, yet the crime rates, yet the murder rates, rape rates in India weren't reduced. So for that reason, we have raised the punishment so heinous that the people before committing that crime would think. And as Mimi Chakraborty said that about the women thing, as usual, your party members play women card very well. So my dear fellow delegate, apart from that, there are a lot of things which comes under rape, which has been included in this act. The scenario of rape has been increased vastly in this act, which was not provided in earlier IPC.
Any points of the floor?
Move on.
Seeing none. Next, Faisal PP Mohammed. All right, would you like to defer your speech? Yeah. All right. Sunny Deol, you are next.
What? We can ask. I'm putting my speech.
I would like to reply to Mimi Chakrabarti on the Jsslc which he spoke about on NCB data. That data is actually before the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita has been introduced, so I think it is not valid for here.
Mimi Chakrabarti, would you like to reply?
Reply.
Until.
Should say.
You're on care.
The recent survey, it is valid, and I should say.
I believe that at the 0 hour, rather than recognizing the name, we might have one-on-one discussion with the opposition party.
All right.
I have.
Honorable EB, as Rahul Gandhi always states that I'm so sorry he wasn't a part of our parliament for so many days. So I would like to give him a chance to speak for today. Who knows, tomorrow again he might not be with us in the parliament.
Do I have the floor?
Amit Shah ji, I would like to take the floor for this wherein Prime Minister itself is absent here. Wherein you want to
The party head is also not very bad with Anshul Chaudhary.
we at least have women representation. First thing I would like to make it clear, at least in the name of women card, which you very clearly specified, we have women representation in our party, rather than you have only 2 MPs, mostly of women representation. Third thing I would like to specify about social security, wherein sedition laws have been repealed, and in that manner, you are arresting people who are just based on suspicion. So, in the reign of BJP-led government, under UAP Act, several people have got arrested and still they are under not trial. The third thing I would like to mention is about national security, which is specified by Kiran here. National security is being breached when China is sitting on a border and still.
My fellow delegates said about women and all, you said we have 2 women MPs, but those 2 women MPs are the strongest women of India. One is the finance minister and I'm the minister for women. So in case you don't know, it's not about the quality, it's about the quantity, what you are speaking about. And coming to the second thing, it's high time, forget Pakistan, forget China, look into your country. Why are you falling up?
Can I take a right to reply on this?
Yes, delegate, you may.
So first of all, when you spoke about women having quality, not quantity, then you are not defying the own bill of women reservation of 33%. And second of all, when you are saying about China, I'm specifying about China because national security also matters. So wherein border itself is not safe, if our people are not safe, how
about this national security, a person who goes to different countries and defends his own country.
Delegates, we will continue by recognizing other speakers as well. Sunny Deol, you are recognized.
Yeah, I want to reply for his allegation that China is sitting in the near our borders. I would like to reiterate him that during the Asian Games, who signed an MOU with China and it has still not yet been public in India. Please reply on that.
They will not be aware of the answer.
Yeah.
As he was out of the parliament.
Using second person, please address each other in third person.
Want me to reply? You want to continue?
Rahul Gandhi, would you like to reply?
Let it continue.
बोल लीजिए, आगे मौका नहीं मिलेगा आपको. I'm so sorry, I forgot. His beloved mother is absent today. खामोश हो आप.
खामोशी इस बात की नहीं है कि मेरी माँ नहीं है, खामोशी इस बात की आज मोदी जी भी नहीं है.
Our Prime Minister has found good work for the betterment of country, rather coming and speaking to a person who gets ousted from the parliament. हम लोग देश का विकास करते हैं, आपकी तरह भारत जोड़ो यात्रा.
देश के विकास के लिए तो देश को लूट रहे हो.
लूटने की बात कर भी कौन रहा है, जो खुद के देश को बदनाम कर रहा है. तुम लूटने की बात ना ही करो तो बहुत बेहतर होगा.
2G spectrum scam याद है 2G spectrum अडानी है वो मैटर कोर्ट पे सो इट कैन नॉट बी डिस्कस हियर या सब्जुडाइज मैटर.
सनी डियोल भाई आप ना अपना नाटक फिल्म के सेट में रखो, यहाँ पर मत डालो.
अभी देखती है कि वो इन्हीं चीजों को वहां भी खामोश थी और यहाँ भी खामोश.
Abhijit, you have something to say.
It's turning into a two-man show. Are there anybody else who would like to speak? Faisal P. Mohammed, you are recognized.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Amit Shah was telling in 2020 it was COVID, so we couldn't put the topic into the public. When Amit Shah and Modi ji can tell all the public to come out of the house and light the lamp, they can't put this topic into the public. What?
Let him finish. अब बोलने के लिए भी अपनी तो
बोलने दो ना यार.
And I'm surprised that Amit Shah didn't answer me why IPC was changed. Why they changed the name of IPC into Bharat Nyaya Samhita? What was the reason for that?
कोई इंडिया अलायंस से डर गया है.
डर गया है.
Amit,
If you are done, can I continue? For the first thing,
Amit Shah, please reply.
घर के बाहर आकर दिया जलाना और पार्लियामेंट के अंदर जाना are two different things. That was done because our Indians stayed united and the world was in crisis and you expect me to come with my attitude in front of everyone. How shameful is that? And second thing, why did we change it to Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill? Yeah, that is true. Why did we change after okay, how coming you people are? Now how can you people?
I would like to raise.
Let me end.
Yeah.
How can you people take a name of a country for your alliance? And it's highly not permissible.
Shame.
As they say in the EP today, they have said that it's INDIA. We know it today that it is an alliance. 3 decades after, 3 centuries after you say that. If you bring Indian Penal Code, what will people think Indian Penal Code was given by INDIA alliance? That is the reason we didn't want it that to be in. Nyaya Sanhita Bill. We are upholding the integrity of our country rather like you to follow the British footsteps even after so many years of independence.
Would like to explain the question from the evening.
Question from EB. One second. Question from EB.
As per your claims, you are afraid that in the future people misinterpret India in the Indian Penal Code to the opposition. Do you think the name India, the name of our country, is so low that people will interpret it as a name of the opposition as
Scared of it. The only thing is, as you know, these people are so very well in minds of the minds of people. That is the reason we didn't want that to happen. How can they keep a country's name in their alliance at the first place? How could they keep a country's name?
Somebody is acknowledging India as a country. Who is denying the fact that it is also called India?
a patriotic person may keep the name of his country in his
My
alliance.
dear, I guess if it's again misinterpreted, you cannot keep a name of a country as an alliance. If you take India, it will be a person will be in a state of confusion. Is he speaking about the country or is he speaking about the alliance?
What's your party's name?
Bharatiya Janata Party.
What's the other name of India?
Bharat. India.
Exactly.
And Bharatiya Janata Party.
Exactly.
आपके पार्टी के नाम में ये भारतीय
It's not Bharat, Bharatiya
EB is
Janata
on our
Party.
side.
Would smile upon the motion for adjournment.
Okay.
Kiran Kher, you are recognized.
Adjournment.
Adjournment, right? Okay.
We're running short on time.
Oh,
We're running short on time.
you want how many are left?
It's 1:15 right now.
That's what. How many are left to speak?
I believe another 6 more.
We'll wrap it up by 3. 3 will.
People have something to speak.
It's already late.
We call for a motion for adjournment.
We'll adjourn the session also. You enjoy.
Smile upon a motion for adjournment.
We are smile up.
Kiran Kher, you are recognized.
We are raising our placards to adjourn
Adjourn the session.
end the
According to
session.
procedure, somebody should raise their placard and raise a motion for adjournment.
Let anyone. Anyone.
All right, Sunny Dubey, you are recognized.
I'm rising.
I am raising a motion to adjourn this session.
Everybody in favor of? This session has been adjourned. Thank you, delegates. Meantime, I request the UNHRC delegates to please assemble near the dais. UNHRC delegates.
Very helpful.
So you should be on fire.
ये क्या करना
Anna, is the only place where you entertain POs and POIs. Exceeding your time, still they will give that. POs is a compulsion. But they are saying so many mistakes. We had to cover something for you.
We're running out of time. I can't help inconsiderate.
POI should be, that is the basic consider anyway.
I had to finish class.
At all.
I got really scared.
in order. So first you'll have to answer your roll call. So delegates, I'll be calling out your country names, so please respond accordingly. First of all, Eritrea,
President voting.
Cameroon,
President voting.
Gabon,
President voting.
Benin, Vietnam.
Present and voting.
Okay, delegates, that shall be done. That is noted. So now you may start with your formal session. Everybody wishing to speak, please raise their placards. Yes, for the GSL, please raise their placards. All right, fine. I will be noting down the order in which you will be speaking. So first, the delegate of Vietnam is recognized. And it is the delegate of Benin. Then it is the delegate of Gabon, the delegate of Eritrea, and then Cameroon, respectively. The delegate of Vietnam can start their GSL, and your time starts now.
Honorable Chair, esteemed delegates. The delegate of Vietnam is delighted to be a part of this month and hopes that the fellow delegates will engage in relevant debates in order to make this conference productive. This delegate would like to share with you her preoccupation regarding the extrajudicial killing and arbitrary detentions in Vietnam. Vietnam, a country with rich history and culture, has faced international scrutiny concerning the same. These incidents constitute several human rights violations, contravening international norms, undermine the rule of law, and erode public trust in the judicial system. Arbitrary detentions involve the deprivation of liberty without legal basis or due process. Vietnam will reform its laws and regulations to ensure the detentions are carried out within the bounds of due process. The issue of extrajudicial killings and arbitrary detentions in Vietnam are crucial concerns that require immediate attention. Addressing these problems is essential not only to safeguard the rights and freedom of its citizens, but also to uphold its international standing. By embracing transparency, accountability, and legal reforms, Vietnam can move forward towards a just and rights-respecting society. Thank you.
Okay, delegate, you have also elapsed your time. The next delegate, the delegate of Benin. Delegate, can I start the timer?
Honorable Chair and fellow delegates, this is the delegate of Benin State. Benin acknowledges the importance of upholding the rule of law, human rights, and promoting a just society. The issues of extrajudicial killings and arbitrary detention are of great concern to our nation and the international community. We here share our commitment to address these concerns and work towards a just and fair legal system and Benin. Extrajudicial killings are unlawful and deliberate homicides committed by government agents or individuals without due legal process. Benin commits to thoroughly investigate and hold accountable to any individuals, including law enforcement officers, responsible for extrajudicial killings. We will cooperate with international human rights organizations and ensure transparency in these investigations. Benin will enhance the training in law enforcement procedures to promote respect for human rights and due process. Arbitrary detention. Arbitrary detention refers to unlawful imprisonment of individuals without proper legal procedures or trials. Accountability. Benin will create a national mechanism for monitoring, reporting, and accountability to address extrajudicial killings and arbitrary detention cases promptly. In conclusion, Benin reaffirms its commitment to uphold the principles of human rights, the rule of law, and justice. Thank you.
Okay, delegate, that was a really good speech. Next, the delegate of Gabon.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, I stand before you today as delegate of Gabon. In this room today are the distinguished representatives of many states that have each made specific and great contributions to humanity. All by ratifying the UN Charter have made a clear commitment to, I quote, reaffirm faith in a fundamental human rights, in the dignity of birth of human person, in equal rights of men and women and of nations large and small, and to establish conditions under which justice and respect for the obligations arising from treaties and other sources of international law can be maintained, and to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom. The working group notes with concern allegations of extrajudicial executions reported during the period under review involving members of civilian self-defense groups and agents of the defense security force. Together, if we succeed in turning the corner in improving our global conditions, we can then say the screams of history and of million upon millions of victims have been heard finally. Let us make it so. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, that was a really inspiring speech, delegate of Gabon. That's the delegate of Eritrea.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, I stand before you today as a delegate of the nation of Eritrea, committed to holding the principles enshrined in the UN Charter and the international treaties and conventions that collectively safeguard human rights around the world. The issue we convene to address arbitrary detention, enforced disappearance, and extrajudicial execution of human rights defenders strike at the core of UN's mission to promote and protect human rights, peace, and security. It is imperative that we recall the fundamental principles that guide our actions as outlined in the UN Charter. Article 1 of the UN Charter establishes the purpose and principles of the UN, emphasizing respect for human rights and for fundamental freedom of all distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. Our existence as UNHRC is a testament to our commitment to these principles. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 9 states, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary detention or exile. In light of these principles and commitments, it is crucial that we as representatives of our nation prioritize action, collaboration, transparency, and international cooperation are paramount in addressing these pressing issues. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, that should be done. The next and the last delegate for the Jsslc is the delegate of Cameroon.
Good afternoon to the Executive Board and our fellow delegates. I, the delegate of Cameroon, would like to place the country's opinion on the agenda. In my country, human rights issues, including reports of unlawful or arbitrary killings, including extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, torture and aggregate treatment by the government and non-state armed groups, harsh and life-threatening prison conditions, arbitrary arrests or detention, political prisoners or detainees, serious problem with the independence of the judiciary, arbitrary or unlawful interference with the privacy, punishment of family members for offences allegedly committed by an individual. We also see that more than 100 people are being arbitrarily detained in Cameroon simply for exercising their right to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. Although the government took steps to identify, investigate, prosecute, and punish officials who committed human rights abuses or corruption, it did not do so systematically and rarely made public the outcome of procedures. Delegate of Cameroon hereby hopes the global community will work together in conserving the Article 5 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to come up with a solution to the situations which are nearly out of control. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, delegate, that was a really good speech. The executive board will be looking for further motions. Yes, delegate of Vietnam.
The delegate of Vietnam would like to raise a motion to suspend formal debate and move into moderated caucus on the topic existing mechanism for extrajudicial killings and arbitrary detentions for 5 minutes with each delegate speaking for a minute.
Okay, delegate, that shall be in order. Every delegate who is wishing to speak in this moderated caucus, please raise your placards. All right, fine. So first it will be Cameroon. Next, Vietnam. Eritrea. Gabon, and then Benin. Yes, delegates. So first, delegate of Cameroon, you can start.
The delegate of Cameroon has come up with certain problems faced and solutions. So, as in the previous year, there were reports of individuals held incommunicado by or on behalf of the government authorities, typically for brief periods of time immediately following their arrest. First of all, the Constitution and the law prohibits arbitrary arrest and detention. Any person illegally detained by police shall receive compensation if the defendant proves that they have suffered injury of a particular serious nature because of such detention. But the government did not always respect these provisions. The law also requires police to obtain a warrant from a judge or prosecutor before making an arrest, but police often did not respect this requirement. Police, JARAs, PIRs, and other government authorities reportedly continue to arrest and detain persons arbitrarily, often holding them for prolonged periods without charge or trial at the time of incoming. All in all, there is a violation of Article 5 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that says no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruelty, inhuman or degrading treatment or importance to educate. Importance to educate police officers on importance of human rights and prevent less unlawful killings is being totally ignored. Alternative sentences such as life without parole avoid some of the key problems with capital punishment, including the high cost of the death penalty and the risk of executing innocent persons. Thank you.
That was a fiery speech. Next, the delegate of Vietnam.
Independent body to be established to investigate alleged extrajudicial killings. Perpetrators of extrajudicial killings should be held accountable through fair legal proceedings. Ensure detainees are treated in compliance with international human rights standards. Collaboration with international organizations to be prioritized to provide training for legal professions.
Perfect, delegate. After this, the delegate of Eritrea.
The right to life and analog right to be free from arbitrary deprivation of life constitutes defining human right. Indeed, the right to life form has been characterized as the supreme human right, since without effective guarantee of this right, all other rights of the human being would be devoid of meaning. Its status is evident in both human rights law and international humanitarian law. In 1989, the UN Economic and Social Council adopted the principles of effective prevention and investigation of extra-arbitrary execution to reinforce the substantive obligation of states to protect life and to prevent extrajudicial killing. The UN adopted the manual on effective prevention and investigation to complement the 1989 principles. The manual defined executions including deaths resulting from torture or ill treatment in prisons or detention, deaths resulting from enforced disappearance, executions without the due process. Thank you.
Okay, delegate, that's done. Next is the delegate of Gabon.
No one shall be voluntarily returned or extradited to a country where there are substantial grounds for believing that he or she may become a victim for extralegal, arbitrary, or summary execution in that country. There shall be thorough, prompt, and impartial investigation of all suspected areas of extralegal, arbitrary, and summary executions, including cases where complaints by relators or other reliable reports such as unnatural death in the above circumstances. Government shall maintain, investigate, office, and procedures to undertake such inquiries. The purpose of the investigation shall be to determine the cause, manner, the time of death, the person responsible, and any pattern or practice which may have brought about that death. It shall include an adequate autopsy, collection, and analysis of all physical and documentary evidence and statements from witnesses. The investigation shall distinguish between natural death, accidental death, suicide, and homicide. Thank you.
Okay, delegate. The final speech would be of the delegate of Benin.
Cooperation with international human rights organizations to ensure transparency in the investigation that takes place, protect the independence of the judiciary to prevent undue political influence on legal decisions, whistleblower protection, which means the whistleblower is a person, often an employee, who reveals information about activity within the private or public organization that is deemed illegal, immoral, illicit, unsafe, or fraudulent. Protect the independence of judiciary to prevent undue political influence on legal decisions.
Okay, delegate, that shall be done. Now, the executive board will be entertaining more motions. Yes, delegate.
The delegate of Cameroon would like to raise a motion for an unmoderated caucus for 5 minutes.
For a duration of 5 minutes.
For a 5.
Everybody seconding the motion, please raise your placards. All right, since there is no opposition, the motion shall be passed and in order. You shall have an unmoderated caucus for 5 minutes exactly.
Okay, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? No one shall be involuntarily returned. No one shall be involuntarily ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಹಾಕಿರೋದೆ ಬಿಡು. Bro, there shall be thorough prompt bro, there shall be thorough. There, shall be thorough, prompt, and impartial investigation in all suspected cases. In the type suspected cases of extra legal, arbitrary, and summary executions. Okay.
That's what
How we should maintain investigation.
As far as I know, they were going to get one more thing. Documentation.
It is done nice, very.
The timings of your matches for
Alleged. I will make that one. That's it.
you have 1 minute more. If you need to make any last minute changes, you can still make it. Last 15 seconds. All right, the time has elapsed. So now the floor is open for motions again. The executive board will be entertaining a motion. Yes, Delegate of Bennett.
I, the delegate of Bennett, would like to raise a motion to vote on the working paper that is discussed.
All right, so vote for the working paper. Perfect, Delegate of Bennett. Fine. So whoever is in favor of the working paper, first of all, are you all in favor of discussing the working paper? Who all are in favor of discussing the working paper? Please raise your placards. All right, since there is unanimity, are there anyone opposing? No, right? All right, fine. So everybody in favor, I think all of you have access to your working paper. You all have gone through the class. All right, perfect. So the executive board shall seek the committee to vote on the working paper. So everybody in favor of the working paper shall please vote now. All right, delegates, it's a unanimous working paper. That is pretty appreciable. Anyone opposing the working paper just by chance? Anyone opposing the working paper? Fine. The working paper shall be passed, and now the executive board will be looking for a motion to adjourn committee. Yes, Delegate of Gabon.
I would like to raise a motion to adjourn the session.
All right, Delegate of Gabon. First, whoever is seconding the motion can please raise their cards. All right, fine. Since there is no opposition, I think there was one opposition. Please vote me. I need you all to vote me for the motion. Please, everybody seconding the motion for adjournment can please vote for the motion, and who raised the motion cannot second it by themselves. Okay, so there's one opposition for seconding this motion. So whoever are in favor of adjournment, please raise their placards. In favor of adjournment. All right, it's 3 delegates. Whoever are against the adjournment, please raise their placards. Okay, the voting shall be done again by the discussion of the chair. All right. Whoever are in favor of adjourning the session, please raise your placards. All right, fine. Whoever are against can please raise your placards. Okay, fine. Since it's a 4:1 ratio, the session shall be adjourned. Thank you all of you.
You can actually take it home.